Hello everybody, Janet Urban here, founder of Friends in Film. Welcome to our podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights that you will not learn anywhere, not in film school, not online, not from anybody, even people on film sets will not know what I'm teaching you because we have studied how to go very fast into the film industry and create a career out of it. And that is what this podcast is about, and that is what the A-List program is about, which is our main flagship program that all these people all over the world are doing to work in the film industry. So enjoy today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening. The next couple of episodes are going to be about money, the ability to make money in the film industry, how you think about your ability to make money, how you were thinking about money in general, and the amount of money that you have, and your capacity to make money and to create value in the film industry, which pays you money. This is a very important topic because if you think that money is something that is bad and money is only for greedy people, this is going to hold you back from your career in the film industry because the film industry pays good money. And it pays good money for value that you are confidently going out there and offering to the film industry. They will definitely pay you when you are ready to do these jobs. And you might be raising your hand right now. Hey, I am ready to get paid that $6.50 for 12 hours of work. I'm ready right now. Give me the money. And this conversation is about developing you so that you can actually get paid that money and know that you are creating that much value on a film set. So you're not lucky to get hired for these jobs. You're not going to get hired for these jobs when you don't know how to do the job. You will deserve to have gotten that job and gotten that job over other people because that's what's happening all the time because everybody wants all these jobs in the industry. So you will have gotten yourself to an experience level, a confidence level, a competency level, and a connection level so that you are getting offered these jobs. So there's a lot that will go into you getting paid for your expertise in the film industry. And we want to think about it not like it's a faraway dream or something that we hope is going to happen, but we're planning for it in the real world. Like we are positioning ourselves to get paid that money by the film industry. Like this is real world and this is not something that we're hoping to create. If it's something that we're hoping for, then it's never going to happen. Because hoping imagines it working and hoping also imagines it not working. And that will lead you to not really believing and then procrastinating and not aligning all of your brain, all of your energy, all of your beliefs into what you want to create out there in the film industry, what you want to specialize in and be really good at and offer to the film industry. Seriously, like that is what they pay you for in the film industry. So this is a conversation about how you are thinking about your ability to make money in the film industry and about your ability to make money in general. Here's how it works. Our thinking is what produces our results. So our thinking that we've had up until now has produced the result of the amount of money that we currently have in our lives. Our thinking produced that result. So if we're thinking that it's hard to make money, then we're probably feeling stressed about money. And then when we go out there, we're trying to make money and be super successful, thinking that money's hard to make. So the result that we're creating for ourselves is that we're making money really hard to make because we're thinking that it's hard to make. So our thinking produces that result. Isn't that amazing? If you think that money is easy to make, then you're going to be in all your conversations with people going like, oh yeah, I can do that. I would love to do that. I'd love to learn that. And you're going to have new thoughts about the ways that you can add value because money's easy to make and people want to hire me and I know how to make money. These are very powerful thoughts that will create different results in your life. So I was just on a call today and the person was like, yeah, I really am motivated to make money in the film industry, but right now I got to have a job and I'm not motivated to do that job. In fact, I'm just using that job to make money. And what I told him is that you are missing a huge opportunity because your results are always coming from your thinking. And you can prove to yourself that you can be extremely successful. You can set yourself up to be extremely successful in the film industry If you approach this job that you are in right now to make money as something that you are going to kick ass in, that you're going to become so valuable for this company or for your boss, you're going to do such an amazing job and provide so much value that they're never going to want you to leave, but you're using it to prove to yourself. You're using it to show how you can use your brain to create so much more value than you even thought that you would. Because if you show up to your job just like, oh, I'm just doing this for the money, and oh, this is how much you're paying me. Okay, this is how much I'm putting in for that amount of money that I'm getting paid, then you're definitely going to be staying at that income level. And you cannot expect to go from $15 an hour to $100 an hour just because the film industry pays that. It pays that for people that are thinking at $100,000 an hour level. So that's why you need to elevate where you are at today in your current job from a $15 an hour to like a $50 an hour. How would I be thinking if I was getting paid $50 an hour or $100 an hour? Or it doesn't even matter what I'm getting paid. I am going to kick ass in this job. And I'm going to find out what my boss wants. I'm going to find out what's important to them. I'm going to exceed their goals. I'm going to come every day to work and do even better than I did last time. I'm going to brainstorm how I can do things better, and I'm going to get feedback back from my boss how I can do better and become more valuable to them. So I'm not going to just go and trade my time for money. I'm going to actually go there to prove to myself what value I can create in any job that I am in. If you can do that in your current job, you will become very valuable there. You will get promotions like crazy, even though you may not want them. You're going to get them. But that's going to feel very good, isn't it? Because you're going to be like, wow, I'm actually extremely powerful. I can do so much more than I even thought that I could. And that same belief that you will have just created for yourself, you know you can take with you to the film industry. Now, the film industry, the way you think about that is like, oh, this is a big, amazing business, and this is like the real deal, and you got to be super talented, and it's going to be hard to get in, and people are going to be deciding whether they want to work with you or not, and this is going to be hard. So this is how you might be thinking about the film industry. But that's where you really want to go. So you have a lot of trepidation, a lot of maybe concerns or self-doubt about you being able to make an amazing amount of money in the film industry because you haven't done it yet. And what I want to teach you is the way that you think about yourself and your ability to make money, that can be just a decision in your mind that you can apply anywhere you want. Because would it serve you to know that in your bones, in your heart, that you know how to make money. You know how to create value. You can take any job and you can learn it and you can make it easy and then you can move on to the next thing. You can ask all the right questions of your boss to find out what's important to them and you can deliver it. Would it be valuable to know that that's what you do? That's how you roll. If so, you are going to make so much freaking money in this world. You will be so successful just by having those thoughts, just by having that intention. That is the coolest thing about money because it's just a transfer of the value that you're creating. It's not even green anymore. It's just what shows up in your account. That is a result of what I've been doing in the last year, in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years. How much money's in my account. And even if you're in debt with school, that was a choice that you made, and that result is shown there in your account. And it could be negative. And I'm going to teach you in future podcast episodes that debt is not a problem. That debt is something that you can think about to empower yourself. That debt is neutral. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a dollar figure. And you can choose to think about that dollar figure any way that you want. And I'm going to show you how to think about that debt in a way that moves you forward powerfully so that you can pay it off as fast as possible. How you think about making money in the film industry directly affects how much money that you are making in the film industry. How you think about it affects your results. How you're thinking about money affects how you are earning it right now. It affects the money that you are spending right now. And it also affects the amount of money that you are saving right now. How you are thinking about it is impacting all of those areas, how you're earning, how you're spending, how you're saving. So we want to become aware of our thinking. And once you become aware of it, then you can decide, hey, do I want to keep thinking that? Or you could find out, oh my gosh, I had no idea that I think that money is bad. That I can definitely see how that's going to impact my results. Oh my gosh, I've got to change that belief. And just the awareness in itself might make that belief go poof. Actually, money is the avenue to my dreams. So you change your belief, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, money comes in all over the place. Another belief that you might choose to have is that, I just do a great job out there. I give way more value than I'm paid for all the time. I over-deliver all the time, and money comes to me in opportunities all over the place. That is what I believe. If you believe that and you're always over-delivering and finding out what's important to other people and creating value and taking on responsibility, you're going to have money coming in to you all over the place. And then you want to be open to receiving it, receiving that money from the universe, but from the real world is where it's really coming from. And it is not coming in for any other reason other than you are over-delivering in many areas of your life that is making you more skilled, a better communicator, have more get it factor, and people are recognizing that, and they are like going, oh, you're the one. You'd be great. Would you like this opportunity? It pays this much. Do you want me to teach you? What I'm going to teach you pays $100 an hour. That's what you're going to be opening up for yourself when you start over-delivering and thinking in this way of creating value. So now let's start with what has been your thoughts about money that comes from the past. So these are thoughts that you have today that you don't even question, that have come from your upbringing. These are thoughts you have today that have come from what your parents have said or what people that were influential to you have said in the past. These are thoughts that have come from expectations of what regular people make in the world. And these are very important for you to identify and write down so that you can actually move beyond them. And this is why so many people, like their families, make a certain amount of money, and then they find that they make a very similar amount of money in their life. Everybody pretty much makes a similar amount of money than what that goes with the amount of money that they were brought up on, that their parents made, that everybody around them was making. So if it's all like middle class, you pretty much stay middle class. And why is that? Because you're not thinking that like more wealthy class thinking that goes with generating more money. You don't expect that money. So you kind of stay with the same expectations that go with the amount of money that you've always had, that your family's always had, that seems very normal, and that's pretty much what I'm capable of making. But I'm here to tell you that you are actually capable of making so much more than whatever it was that your expectations are coming from the past. So I was brought up very kind of maybe low income to middle income, probably more on the low income side. My mom worked at Shopko. She worked in the lingerie department. So basically she's hanging bras and panties on little hangers. And my dad was a guidance counselor later in life, but for the majority of my growing up time, he was taught auto mechanics at the high school. So they were making like $2,000 to $3,000 per year. Per year. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a while ago. But yeah, they were not making very much. They were making like maybe $20,000 a year for most of my formative years. Now, my cousin's family, they were attorneys. So they had the expectation that, hey, you charge and you make a lot of money. So that whole family was their expectations about money was you can make it, you can spend it. Like we would go to the mall together and I would buy nothing and they would buy a new sweater and they would buy a pair of pants. And I'm like, man, must be so nice to have money. I thought they were rich. And, they had a decent amount of money, but the expectations were different about money. So interesting enough, in my family, since we were so scarcity minded, you had to hold on to every single penny and money was really hard to make, it was only myself and my family that said, okay, since it is so hard to make, I've got to be so freaking exceptional and work so hard to try to move beyond this level that I'm at. So I was super determined and motivated to do whatever it takes to earn money, to make myself better, to get into a job and to find out what they needed and wanted and just far exceed those expectations so I could make more and more and more money. Like it came from such a place of pain. Not sure if you can relate with that. Now it's interesting that my cousin's family, their thought was that money was easy to make. And so all of those guys, they ended up making a ton of money. And they thought it was easy, and they did jobs that paid really well. They did really well in life. Like one of them became a major baseball league player and currently manages the Mariners in Seattle. But they've done millions and millions and done really well in life. And their whole view about money is that, yeah, you can make it. Yeah, they believed that they could make it. So therefore, they made it. And as they did the jobs out there in the world, they expected to get hired and get more jobs, and they attracted money to themselves. But for my family, it was always hard to make. So my viewpoint of money definitely shaped my struggle in making money. And in a way, it served me because it made me become like a super over-prepared and an overachiever, which is good. At the same time, it was through a lot of pain. So this is all kind of a complicated conversation. And the most important thing is to look at, what is it how do you think about money? How have you been looking at money from the past? What did your family teach you about money? Maybe indirectly, but what are your thoughts about money that has come from the past? Is it hard to make? Is it easy to make? Is it good? Is it something that you deserve? How do you think about people that are making a lot of money? Do you think that they're bad people? Do you think that they deserve it? Do you think that they've worked hard for their money? Do you cheer people on that are doing really well in life, or do you want to tear them down? What are some of your concepts about money? Because for me, I remember in my past, if you made a lot of money, I was jealous of you. I wanted you to come back down to my level. But that was a teenage mind. And now I'm inspired by people making a lot of money. I'm like, wow, that is awesome. The thinking that you had to produce in order to make that money, that is super inspiring. I love that. I love that you're successful. Now I have an abundant viewpoint of making money and success. I think it's awesome. I want to be around people that think like that. I want to have those thoughts myself. I don't want to be like scarcity minded where everybody stays small, because there's so much money. There are opportunities out there, and there are so many, and it's so abundant. And there's nothing wrong with growing into somebody that deserves it and attracts it to themselves and is always thinking in ways of creating more value to get paid more money, that expects to be successful. I love that concept of truly believing that you expect to be successful. You expect to get paid money. You expect that what you do in the world is valuable to people and it comes back to you in money. It doesn't have to be for one job, but it can just be for in general. Like all of the way that you approach your life, you attract money back to you. This is a very good belief. And I would love for you to take it on and try it on like a new shirt, like a new jacket. Just try it on and see how that fits. What did you think about money that has come from the past? Did you think that money is hard to make? Do you think that money is easy to make? Do you think that people should not be greedy? Do you think that making money is great? Do you cheer people on for making money? Do you think that you have the ability to make money, that you have that power to make money? How are you thinking about money? When you write down all of your thoughts, you're going to see that those thoughts have been producing your results so far in your life. Your money results so far in your life have come from your thinking. If you think that it's hard to make money, then you're not going to really try, and you're going to procrastinate, and you're going to, in a way, sabotage yourself. And you're going to make it so that money is hard to make, because you won't be developing the skills and the thinking that allows you to add value out there in the world and attract money to yourself. I really would urge you to try on, like a new jacket, the thinking of that money is easy to make. I can learn new skills. I can meet people. I can find out what they want, and I can learn the skills that can allow me to get paid an unlimited amount of money. And there are so many opportunities out there just waiting for me to decide which one I want to specialize in and bring in the money. So that brings us to the present. How are we thinking about money now? How are we thinking about earning money? How are we thinking about spending money? How are we thinking about investing money right now? What are we spending money on and why? When we decide to spend money on something, that's coming from a thought, right? It was the thought that made you like, okay, I'm going to buy this thing. But the reason why you're spending money on whatever it is because of how you think it's going to make you feel. What you want to do is look at very carefully what kind of feeling you're trying to get from spending that money. So let's look at it for something small like a pair of jeans. So for me, when I would go shopping for a pair of jeans, I would imagine myself wearing the jeans and looking amazing and maybe attracting guys, like how good I look or whatever. Or I might see myself like with a business suit on and I'm looking so confident. So I want to feel attractive. I want to feel confident. I'm looking for the clothes to give me that feeling. And that's interesting to be able to identify, because it's true. I'm looking at making these purchases to give me a feeling. And could I get that same feeling with my thoughts, with thinking different thoughts? Like, hey, you look freaking amazing today, so you can feel confident today, Janet. You can give yourself the permission to feel confident no matter what you're wearing. Could I tell myself, you don't have to have a new pair of jeans to look good to other people. You actually look good to other people when you think you look good to yourself. So these kind of thoughts can really propel me forward in getting me what I actually want and being conscious of it. So I'm producing how I want to feel with my own thinking instead of spending money unconsciously trying to get a feeling. So now that we've kind of explored this a little bit, think about what decisions that you've been making about money and what feeling you've been after in spending that money. And then you'll be able to kind of see how you're operating. Like I could see how I was operating there, and that's very useful because there's better ways of doing it than just spending the money and now owing that money on a credit card. We must be very conscious when we are spending money. So have you ever invested in something that was quite pricey, like maybe a boot camp that was like $3,000? And how you justified it to yourself was you said, okay, $3,000. Well, that means that I'll just have to work really hard. Because it was so much money, that means that I'm definitely going to do it. And you told yourself that up front. And then you got into it and you're like, okay, the class was great and everything. And then you came out of it and now you just feel bad because you're like, well, how exactly was I supposed to pay myself back for that? Now I'm so stupid. Now I'm out the money. And yeah, I learned some things, but I still don't really know how I'm going to pay for it or how I'm going to pay myself back for that. What I just learned, I don't see how that translates in that. So the problem with spending money and telling yourself a story, especially a story like, hey, if I spend this money, then I'm going to be serious about it. No, you're serious about it because you decide to be serious about it, not the fact that you spent the money. So you have much more power if you decide, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money from the training that I just got. Not because I have to, but because I want to. So I don't use the spending of the money as a negative motivator. I use the investment of the money as something that I chose to do, and then it's always going to be my thinking that's going to make me successful, not the fact that I spent the money. Which one will be much better for long-term success? Practicing that when I invest in stuff, I better freaking, I better use it because I spent that money, or investing in things knowing I'm feeding my brain and that I can take this investment and take it times 20 because I'm going to use my brain to learn how to do that, to expect that. So what I am teaching you is to always have your thinking be for you. Don't create stories that are negatively motivating you. Create thinking that is positively motivating you, that builds upon itself, and the new thoughts and new thinking comes from that expectation of, I can create the most amazing experiences for myself by taking any class simply with my thoughts and my creativity and my resourcefulness. I want you to have a lot of self-confidence in yourself with every single thing that you do, whether it's a job that you're in today or a class that you're taking. It's all happening for you. You are able to go into any situation and opportunity and create opportunities for yourself and new learnings and new perspectives that you did not have before. And this is how you will make a lot of money. This is a very expansion way of thinking about yourself and your abilities. So you never negatively motivate yourself with spending money. You invest in things knowing that, hey, it's always going to be you that's responsible for creating money from that thing, and you believe that you can. So what are some of the best investments that you have made in yourself to date? So when I think of some of my best investments that I've made, I would have to say that it was my computer. It was this house. And I would say that it was really all of my personal development trainings, which those are not trainings on how to shoot film. Those are trainings where I'm working on my own thinking. That was the best by far. Working on my own thinking, which is why I teach this to you guys so strongly, that's what made me all the money. It wasn't learning how to light a set. I can learn how to light a set. I can learn how to write. I can learn how to structure a script. All that stuff can be learned so easily. That stuff is out there everywhere, and you learn it on film sets. But what you don't learn so easily is how to think when you think to yourself about what your capacity is and what your abilities are. Your own belief in yourself, that is worth investing in. And that's very elusive, because it's like there's so much that you don't know when you look at yourself and your own thinking. It's like you just keep thinking the same thoughts that you've always thought. And then you have what you have. How can there be anything more beyond that? And this is what I want to share with you, is that there is so much more beyond that. There's so much more ways that you can make money and ways that you can grow and add value in the world that you've never even thought of. And the pathway to start this process is to simply believe that you can and do more, and ask your brain for more. Ask your brain for more ideas, more thoughts, more conversations, more self-confidence. I know, hands down, that my best investment has been in my own brain, my own personal development. And it's always been in my own thinking. Because if I think something is possible, then I create the thinking to go out there and get it, then I have stepped into a new place again and again and again and again. And I do create money, and I do create opportunities, and I do meet new people, and I do expand, and I have new ideas that were never there before, and new thoughts that were never there before, because I'm creating it with my own mind. That's why the personal development training is money. You don't have to invest in lighting the set or learning film or writing a script or an MFA. You can if you want to, but be conscious about the money that you are now going to have to pay back, whether that is something that you want to do or not. And make sure that that you've thought that all the way through, so you're not just doing it because you feel there's a feeling of lack, or that people will respect you better if you're an MFA. You are always responsible for your results. So whatever class you take, whatever MFA or film school that you invest in, the most powerful place to stand is that you are responsible for all of your results that you're going to get from investing in that thing. And that is you taking responsibility for your own success, for your own future. It's a very powerful place to be. I'm responsible for all the success and all the money that I bring into my life. Let's talk about the chasing of shiny objects. That means that we are going all over the place, kind of looking for a magic pill. Like, we really want to be in the film industry, but there's a trading class that I could maybe make a bunch of money, then I could finance my film. So I'm going to go learn trading, and then I sink a bunch of money in that, and I learn it halfway, and then, maybe it'd be easier to go to broadcasting school. My friend is going, and we should go, and then we can become broadcasters. I don't know how that's all going to work, but broadcasting school. And then we're like, wait a minute, I should be a life coach. And then we're like, wait a second, maybe I should go to this horse camp and ride on horses and practice my acting because I'm really great with animals and I probably will bring out the best part of me that I will have forever for my acting. So these are all like chasing of shiny objects because we are not conscious of our thinking and what actually produces results in our life, which is our thinking. So if you think that it's really hard to build a career in this film industry and then other things come along and that thought is in place, you're going to go chasing all these other shiny objects because maybe that's the answer, maybe that's the answer, maybe that's the answer. When you're responsible for your results, you can create whatever result that you want in your life. Be responsible for it and then start taking the actions that go to creating that result. Create the thinking that allows you to create those results in your life. You must expect to be successful. You must create thoughts that are all around you being successful. Then you will not go chasing shiny objects because why would you do that? You already know that you'll be successful in film. I mean, you can do whatever you want in your life, but you're going to know that your main focus is going to be on what you want to learn and what you are here to do in the film industry. Because it's not true that it's easier to make a living as a life coach or in trading or in selling jewelry online. None of that is easier. It's all equally challenging. Everything you do that attracts money, that makes an impact in the world, it's all going to be challenging. In fact, I would probably say the film industry, once you know how to do it the way I teach you, it's so much easier. Certainly easier than trading, easier than being a life coach. It's possible it can make you a lot of money. It really could. Like you can make as much money in life coaching and trading and selling jewelry, but the question is that what you want to do? Whatever the dream is where you should be putting all your focus on. So the reason why this is relevant for money is that we chase all these other things because we think that it's easier, and it always comes back to our thinking, like I've been telling you. So if there's a class that you want to take and you're holding yourself back, you have to ask yourself, what is the thought that's holding you back from taking that? Are you thinking that it might not work? And why are you thinking that? Is that something that you want to keep thinking, that it's probably not going to work? It's not going to make a difference anyway. Do you want to keep that thinking around? Does that serve you for your goals in your life? Versus deciding, I'm going to take this class and I'm going to be responsible for using it to propel me to a new direction in my life. If there's one thought that I can leave you with, it is being conscious of your thinking and knowing that your thinking is producing your results and knowing that you can think whatever you want and that thought is going to create results. So be very careful in your thinking in regards to your success in film and in regards to your ability to earn money out there in the film industry and in life in general. Okay, we're going to do a lot more on the money front. We're going to talk about debt. We're going to talk about earning money and spending money. We're going to talk about our beliefs about money and our abilities to make money in the film industry. So these are all future episodes, and I will see you there. Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.